Thank you so much, Mr. Roy Sojourno.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here sharing this Zoom with all of you and with him. And so my name is Fuentes. Let me just kind of tell you my story so I'm not a complete stranger. I was born in Mexico, moved here when I was 10 years old. At age 18, actually, I came from a country where it was a struggle to live, right? But here's the thing, I came to the land of opportunity. And they told me when I came to this country that this was the American dream. And I was like, my dad was working a job in construction, and then he was working another part-time job after work. And then he was working, selling stuff over the weekends. And then my mom had a caregiving job and then a serving job at night, right? So I was like, how is this the American dream? This is the American nightmare. Kids are not seeing their parents. Between both my parents, they had 5 jobs, right? And I was like, that is not a dream, that is a nightmare. I don't want to be there when I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, right? So I started a business at age 18, had my second business by 20, made my first million in traditional business, brick and mortar business by age 21. And at age 23, I a third business. And of course, business was good, but the more the business grew, the more I was stuck in that business. I was working anywhere from 80 to 100 hours per week. I wasn't money broke, I was time broke, because money comes and goes, right? But one thing that never comes back is time. So I was looking for time freedom, because my businesses were producing financially well, very good money, but I was time broke, which is worse because time never comes back. So at age 27, I was introduced to network marketing. And I'll be honest with you, I was skeptical, I was negative, I did not believe in this industry. But I found a mentor, and this mentor taught me some wealth principles that changed my life and my philosophy forever. Because of this wealth principles, we were able to take business to another level and build not only in my local state or area or zip codes, but build nationwide, build from the East Coast to the West Coast, build all over Mexico, Central, South America, built in Asia and Europe. And I was able to take a traditional business mentality to a global mentality. And in a global economy, you have global competition there. Therefore, you have to build a global business. So I was, so because of those wealth principles that he taught me from network marketing, we were able to build a team over 100,000 people in 35 countries. We've been able to help 220 families earn a 6-figure income in this amazing industry. We've also been able to create 30 millionaires because of this amazing type of comp plans that network marketing brings to us, right? With no employees, no account receivables, no inventory, no licensing, no registration, because we don't have to do any of that. The company does that for us in a diamond pack. The company does that for us in a platinum or gold pack. It's a business in a box, right? And here in Lifewave, we got started about 3 months ago. And thanks to my mentor, and friend, coach, Mr. Santos, who told me about this company. By the way, I had heard about Lifewave 10 years ago. Then I heard about it again 4 years ago. When she kind of told me about it. At the time, I was a blue diamond in another company. We were having a good run. The company was doing good, so I wasn't really looking, right? But then I said, you know what? Why not in the future? Who knows? You never know. So anyway, so long story short, or long story longer. So what happened is that 3 months ago, after we talked for a few, for a few days and really got down to the hard questions and kicking the tires, and met Mr. David Schmidt and really got to the, meats and potatoes of this particular company. And I was like, man, stem cell technology, the company is booming. The company went from 45 million in sales to 90 million in sales, to 150 million year after year. Every single year, it doubled its growth. In 2020, during pandemic, 150 million in sales. When all these other companies are falling or failing, Lifewave through network marketing is thriving. And I was like, man, this is going to be the best time ever to start in Lifewave. Maybe it wasn't the first time or the second time I heard about it, but the third is charm. And we started, in this year. And at the time, the company was doing like 240 million in sales. And so anyways, here we go. 3 months into the company. We've been able to help a lot of people on our team. We just did a Super Saturday recognition for 1 hour where we recognized over 36 new managers over, what was it, like 7, 8 directors, a few senior directors, and some executive directors. And all of this that we're doing is because of the team that we put together. You know, we're inviting people. Now, people ask me, how do you invite? What are you telling people? Like, how are you inviting people, Oz? Now, here's what we tell people. I pick up the phone and I call people. I don't text people, I call people. If they don't answer, then I text them. I said, hey, I just called you, missed my call. No biggie, let's set up a call, right? So I try to set up a call. If not, then I'll text them. Hey, I know you're busy. I texted you, I called you, you're not answering. Hey, listen, I just came across something that's going viral. It has huge profit potential. There's a lot of people making 6- and 7-figure income, and it's through stem cell technology. Well, you got to take a look at this, because there's a lot of people making a lot of money. And this is like being in front of Google at the beginning. This is like being in front of, you know, Microsoft or Apple at the beginning. So that's kind of my invitation, right? And when they call me or text me, they tell me more. So I tell them, hey, listen, I'm going to send you a 3-minute video that explains everything, because I have another 30 calls to make. And in this 3-minute video, you're going to learn about the product, but you're also going to learn about phototherapy. On the second video. And then I send them the comp plan. How do I do it? I do it through the app. You know, I go to the app. Now, this is a free app, just like Mr. Roy talked about, right? This is an app that most companies would charge you $15, $20, $30. I've even seen it where apps like this, it'll cost you about $50 for this app. So I go on the app and I put in their info, or maybe it's already transferred from my cell phone, right? I mean, and then I'll just send the X39 video. You know, I go to prospects, and here you can see all the prospects that I've sent, you know, videos to. And I can scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. And you can see a bunch of people. I probably prospected over 300 people in the last 90 days. Now, these are all 6- and 7-figure earners, a lot of them, but there's a lot of them that are not 6- and 7-figure earners in network marketing. They're 6 and 7, like my doctor knows about this app, right? Or this stem cell technology. You know, my dentist knows about it. My attorneys know about it. My real estate, everybody that I do business with, I believe in a concept called follow your dollar. What does that mean? Anybody that you spend money with, they need to spend money with you. Meaning you spend money in their business, they need to spend money in your business, right? So that concept, follow your dollar, will give you a list of 30 to 40 people that are already business minded. They thrive. They have a drive. They have dreams and goals. They're already successful. You know, you don't have to teach them about business philosophies. They already understand business. They understand that in order to make money, you have to invest money. In order to get your time freedom back, you have to invest time. They don't believe in get rich quick. They believe in get rich low, but they do get rich, right? Slowly, right? So those are the people that you want to go after at the beginning. That's the chicken list, as we call it. That's the people that you don't want to invite because you don't know what they're going to think of you. But hey, guess what? Opinions do not pay the bills. Opinions do not make you successful, and opinions do not make you or break you. Let go of the mentality of what are they going to think about me? Who cares? Hey, listen, you have a vehicle that can help you or help them make a 6- or 7-figure income. Why not share it with them? Because eventually, sooner than later, they will find out about Lifewave and stem cell technology through somebody else. So why not them find out with you? You don't want to show up to the next company convention and that doctor, that attorney that you could have invited, they're signed up with somebody else and they became presidentials. I mean, that is a painful feeling. And I'm telling you this because I've lived it before, where about 7, 8 years ago, I was in a company. I did not invite this one guy who I knew who was very successful. And then I ended up seeing him at an event as a diamond in that one company, which was a $200,000 a month in volume production, which is kind of like presidential, between presidential and senior presidential. And then I was like, man, and I know that guy. I've known him for like 10 years and I've been spending money in his business. In fact, I did the math and I had already spent with him about $50,000 in those 10 years using his services. And I was like, and I did not invite him, right? So anyways, that's a painful feeling. And I say this to say that do not be afraid of what people are going to say. People are still going to say good or bad, whether you do good or bad, right? So why not do good and let them speak about what you're doing? At the end of the day, somebody's going to prospect them, right? So when somebody asks me, like when somebody tells me, hey, what do you do? I tell them stem cell technology. Like I was on a plane coming from Utah a couple of days ago, and I was sitting next to, actually, I was in the aisle, right? And on the other side of the seats, on the other side of the aisle, there was a person, a doctor. I think he was in the medical field, not sure exactly what he does, but I know he does like surgery and things like that. So cosmetic doctor, let's say, right? And then he looked at the patch, because I was wearing the glutathione patch right here, right? He looked at the patch and he's like, hey, are you sick? Are you diabetic? I was like, no, actually, I wear this to not get sick. I tell him, I wear this to protect myself. He's like, from what? And he's like, well, from, I go from the virus, from what's going out there, glutathione, right? Glutathione. So, and then I start talking about that, and people are looking at me like, the guy next to me is looking at me like, what? You're protecting yourself from the virus, with that? So he's like paying attention to our conversation. The guy, the doctor then asked me, how do you protect yourself? And I said, well, let me ask you, what do you do? He's like, well, I'm a surgeon. And I say, okay, great. So how people, and I always go with the, how people during the pandemic, 80% of them died. 80% of the people that died during, COVID died because of low levels of glutathione. And he's like, well, yeah, I guess. And I said, well, yeah, so this right here will increase your glutathione naturally by 300% in 24 hours, documented with scientific research, scientific double-blind studies. Right? And he's looking at me like, is that real? I mean, because till this point, he's probably only heard that glutathione will increase your, or any pill, any powder, or anything that glutathione supplement will increase your glutathione by 100% in 3 to 6 months, right? Not 200 or 300% in 24 hours. So then he's looking at me like, that's different, that's weird. So anyways, but he's listening. The guy in front of me is like looking back, looking like, okay, what are you guys talking about? That's cool. Like, tell us more, right? So I go, would you like one? I got extra here in my backpack. I'll get my backpack from underneath the seat. Then I open it up and I patch them right there and then. I don't let them get off the plane without a patch, right? So I give him a patch, and then this guy next to me is looking at me like, I want one too. So I go, do you want one? He's like, yeah, I do want one. Okay, great. And then his wife right next to him. And I said, I'm sure your wife wants one too. Here's one for you, one for your wife. Put it on right now. And he's like, I'll put it on later. I say, no, let me get it. Here, I'll peel it for you. Here you go. There you go. And then his wife is putting it on too, on herself, right? And the guy in front of us is looking at us like, hey, I want some too. And I said, hey, would you like some? He's like, yeah. Guess what? In less than 1 minute conversation, 1 prospect, 2 prospects, 3 prospects, 4 prospects. Guess what? People around us are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I don't care. Like, opinions don't pay the bills. Opinions don't make me executive director. Opinions will not make me presidential director. Therefore, if they're asking me, I'm talking to them, right? And that doesn't mean I'm talking to everybody. I mean, the guy looked sharp. Honestly, the guy, the clothes, the stuff that he was wearing, the brands that he was wearing, I was like, yeah, this guy's a 6 or 7 figure earner. I want him in my business eventually, right? So anyways, you attract who you become, right? In life, it's not just about the income, it's about the become. Most people want the big income, but they don't want to become, right? So if you want to attract successful people, you have to think success. You have to think ahead of yourself. I mean, you have to think outside of the box is what I mean. So anyways, that's just a testimonial of how I prospect somebody cold market, or how I prospect somebody through cell phones or text. I tell people ask me, somebody brought up the point of like, which one do you lead with? Well, I lead with all of them. I lead with, this right here, if they're lacking energy. 80% of the people outside in the world are depressed and don't have energy because of stress and depression, right? Not 80%, maybe like 70% of adults. Kids are not, right? This right here, I use it to take the pain away, right? Now, I call this the Ferrari. Ferraris are red, right? This is a Ferrari. This will work fast. I tell people, this is my Ferrari. This one works super fast, right? The energy one. And this is my Corvette. right? The Corvettes are usually there. I remember back in the days, Corvettes were either white or silver. I don't know if you guys remember, right? Gray. And then this right here is my diesel. You know, you can't, if this takes longer, right? The glutathione and the eon is like the diesel. These are the heavy lifters, but they take longer to see results. With this, people see results in seconds, minutes, hours, or days. With this, people see results in weeks or months, right? But guess what? This is short term, this is midterm and long term, right? So I lead with the pain patch, I lead with the energy patch, and the glutathione right here, you know, this right here is something that I always talk about to anyone and everyone. Here's why. Because the pandemic made it socially acceptable for somebody to talk to somebody else about the COVID, about the virus, about all the made up, you know, this pandemic, right, has made it socially acceptable to talk about everything that's going on, right? Like for example, like the you know, the variants and everything else that, I mean, honestly, I don't even know if it's true or not, but here's, everybody has their own opinion, so I'm not going to get into it. It's just like politics or sexual preference or like religion. I'm not going to get into that. You make your own choice whether it's real or not. Here, what I do know that it's real is that 99% of the world population is worried, doesn't have the peace of mind. But when you can patch somebody with this right away, and you can tell them, hey, here's a little bit of extra peace of mind, you know, just in case. Now, people ask me, so with this, you know, you won't get sick. I go, well, it's not that. It's just that you want to protect yourself more, right? You want to boost your immune system. Anyways, that's how I lead. You know, that's what I lead. What I, you know, the products I lead with. This for inflammation. Anything that ends in itis. This right here. I don't know if you guys know, but in Hebrew and Latin, the word itis means inflammation. Arthritis, colitis, you know, what else? Diabetes, and everything that ends in itis, I-T-I-S, right? So I give them this for anything that's inflammatory, which is midterm and long term, meaning 2 weeks to a month to see results. And this X49, of course, is our superstar, right? This is our captain. This is our superstar. This is our superhero, right? This is the reason why we are in the map. Within the last 3 years, every network marketing professional is looking at our company. This is why, and I lead with the product. I don't even lead with the opportunity. People ask me, well, do you lead with the product or do you lead with the opportunity? I'll tell you what, in the last 14 years of network marketing, for the last 14 years and a half, I've led with opportunity because we never had a good product. It was always okay products. It was a lot of Me Too products. Like back in the early 2000s, I was part of the juice wars with all the juice companies, you know, the Zangos, the Monavis, the Nonis, the, you know, Kayanis, the, you name it, right? I was part of the juice war. And then in 2011 and 12, I was part of the coffee war. You know, I was in Organo Gold. We did 50 million in sales in healthy coffee, if you will. And I was part of that coffee war. But this were still Me Too product right now. Right now, there's a CBD war out there. But guess what? Those are Me Too products. Now, we are the only stem cell technology company in the world. When people ask me, what do you do for a living? I tell them, I do stem cell technology. Whether it's in the elevator or whether it's in the bank line or whether it's a line at the post office or anywhere, I tell them I do stem cell technology. Now, when you answer that way, their eyes light up. They're like, whoa. You're saving lives. In fact, I had a guy on the Uber a few days ago tell me, dang, you're saving lives. You're out there saving lives. I said, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I do, man. And guess what? We are looking for people that are looking to make a 6 or 7 figure income part-time from an app on their phone, right? And guess what? He drives for Uber. So guess what he does? He makes multiple, you know, maybe half a 6-figure from an app on his phone. So I'm talking his language. So anyways, he's like, hey, give me your card. I said, look, man, I don't carry cards, but I carry this app. Let me put your name in there. Let me send you my info and let me send you some info too. So you can see a 3-minute video and explains to you what it is that I do, right? In fact, every Uber driver I prospect. Why? Because you never know. I mean, I've had people where, you know, 4 or 5 years ago when Uber started getting big, one of my Uber drivers became a diamond in that one company. What would have happened if I would have let him go, if I would have gone out of his car? And because that guy was driving for Uber, you know, eventually he reached out to a lot of his friends. And then before you know, the guy became a diamond in that one company, making $30,000, $40,000 a month, part-time from home through an app. And that one company also had an app, but we used to pay like $20 a month. Anyways, I know I've said a lot. You know, I don't know how much more time do we have, Mr. Roy, but I'm just excited. I'm fired up. I'm wired up. I'm just stocked up about, you know, everything that's going on. Lifewave technology, Lifewave, you know, stem cell technology, and what we're doing here, you know, helping people live longer, perform better, look younger, and just become the better version of themselves. So
Yeah.
do not be ashamed and do not care what people say. You know, people opinions, like I say, do not pay the bills, and opinions will not make you presidential.
That's right. Very good, brother. Us. I'm excited just to hear from you. Woo! All right. Amazing, amazing. This is the kind of excitement, ladies and gentlemen, that'll bring you to senior presidential director. You got to be so excited. I almost jump out of my socks just listening to this guy. Very, very exciting.